if it's an occupant and they're standing outside, and they let us know.
For anybody.
Okay.
Until you get word from Mir Shamar, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you
so much.
guys.
We're gonna do another run of well, actually.
No, we're not.
Wait, once the door's locked, you can go shake it.
We're not running.
Lock the door. Lock the fucking door. I'm gonna test it.
It begins.
At least 30 Connecticut College students have been staying overnight here at Fanning Hall. Faculty and staff here on campus are getting in on the message too, even canceling some classes and delaying midterms to support the students in this process. So what is their overall message? Well, they want institutional change.
It took 46 days for Connecticut College President Kathrine Bergeron to resign following students demanding her resignation after the Dean of Equity and Inclusion, Rodman King, resigned on February 7th. President Bergeron didn't resign until March 24th.
My name is Lyndon Inglis, and I'm a junior, class of 2024. SVE, Student Voices for Equity, took over Fanning Hall in response to President Bergeron not adhering to the warnings of our former Dean of Institutional Equity and Inclusion, Rodman King, who warned her to not host a fundraising event in the Evergaldes Country Club in Florida. It was historically anti-Black and anti-Semitic, and President Bergeron knew that well before going to Florida and planning to host the event. It was only a day before she was supposed to be at the event that she canceled it after a threat by Dean King or a statement he made at a event on campus. That kind of sparked student activism throughout the campus to combat President Bergeron and the historic just culture that she has cultivated on campus that Dean King highlighted in his letter of resignation.
For 4 days, a group of Connecticut College students have been making their voices heard. SVE leaders have created a list of demands, including asking President Kathrine Bergeron to resign. They'll continue to occupy Fanning Hall until those demands are met.
I chose to stay because I didn't want to leave here with nothing happening. I decided that I was going to stay in here for at least 5 days and thinking that after day 3 she'd resign. And when it got to day 5 and she hadn't resigned, I was thinking I'm going to be in until she leaves.
It was really, really well planned, but also really well supported, and that kind of support honestly amazed me, because I think it displayed a lot of what we were fighting for, of solidarity between students and staff and faculty, and support across those different groups, and trying to equalize communication, increase transparency, because at least on the student end and on the protesting end, we were being as transparent as we could.
It felt really great to see everybody protesting outside of the building. It just made it so much easier and to be inside the building, and it felt like we were so much less alone. It felt like we had so much support, and even though the 29 of us that were in there was only 29, we felt like such a bigger community when there was all those people outside protesting with us and standing in solidarity, and cheering us on. And especially the concerts that Marbrook did were really good for our morale, and really helped me, because it was just so much fun, and sitting in a building all day, not the most fun, but that was really fun. Especially the staff and faculty protest, seeing that and seeing all my teachers out there, or most of my teachers out there, was really great, because I just felt so supported and happy.
though, yes, President Bergeron is out, she can very quickly be replaced with anyone similar to her. And so it's important that students now have a voice within this structure that Conn is developing, both students, faculty, and staff. All affected parties need to have some sort of input. And I think that's something that SVE has been asking for. We're not asking for decision making, we're asking for students to just be in the room to give input on the person that they want to represent them and, you know, make these large-scale decisions for them. Having a president who does not care about the different offices like for gender and sexuality or DIEI in basements or all the way off campus, someone who doesn't care about that is not someone that we want as president. It's not someone that we want them to put in the presidency again. So we are hopeful that the Board of Trustees kind of implement that new structure and allow SVE and different faculty and staff to actually have some sort of say in this new structure, because without it, I mean, we're just repeating a system, another broken system. I'm very proud of how quickly our campus community came together to fight for these lists of demands, regardless of any missteps that both SVE and others took along the way.
With initial protests, a lot of the focus was on the demand of Kathrine Bergeron resigning, but obviously that's not where the work can end. Work has to continue on all of the different issues that have been brought up, and I think behind the scenes a lot of work is being done, but it's not at a visible point yet, what I do think is frustrating for a number of people. I do think that that's kind of a continuing theme where people haven't heard everything and so they assume nothing is happening, which I think can be frustrating for everyone involved. But I do think that hopefully this will be seen as a starting point and not as a nice little neat wrap up. I think that it's fantastic what we've been able to accomplish. I mean, we basically walked out of Fanning with demands 3 through 8 being worked on, and now we've got demand 1 checked off, so turning our focus to what the search for a new president is going to look like, and the challenge will be maintaining momentum, looking at what things will look like now that we are working on less tangible goals or more long-term things, and figuring out where we go from here. But I am excited to be, in the vicinity of those things happening, if not necessarily in the room, every room, but I'll be here for another 3 years, so I guess we'll have to see what happens then. Hi guys! Bye! Oh, she ran a horror. Oh, Kelly!